All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to get inside the mind of a trader. We're going to explore what really separates the winners from the losers, and we'll be leaning on some incredible wisdom from the legendary Mark Douglas.
So, let's kick things off with a question that, let's be honest, every single one of us has probably screamed at our screens at some point. If trading looks so simple, it's just buying and selling, right? Why is it so ridiculously, incredibly difficult to actually do?
And the answer, well, it really starts right here. This lays out the huge conflict perfectly. See, our whole lives, we're wired for the everyday world. You know the deal. Follow the rules, work hard, and you generally get the reward. But the trading world, whoa, it's a totally different beast. It's pure chaos, it's uncertain, and it literally could not care less how many hours you put in. That mental programming that makes you successful out there, in here, in the market, it can be your worst enemy.
And that huge disconnect, that's what brings us to our first section, the trader's biggest puzzle.
So what exactly is this puzzle? It's this. Why do so many smart, driven, hardworking people just consistently fail at trading? It's baffling, right? And Mark Douglas's take on this is a real game changer. He says the real difference maker, it isn't your fancy strategy. It's not about being a genius. It's all about mental discipline. We're talking raw self-control, bouncing back from hits, and just being able to take a loss without it shattering your confidence.
Okay, so this idea of discipline, it leads us to a pretty big and maybe tough revelation. The problem isn't the market. It never was. The problem is you. It's your mindset. And I love this analogy of the firewalker. Think about it. How do they walk on hot coals? It's not because their feet are made of steel, it's because they've completely changed their inner state. They've adopted a specific mindset for a specific extreme environment. And that right there is trading in a nutshell. You can't just try harder with the same old thinking. It won't work. You have to totally transform your mindset to survive and thrive in the market's world.
And here they are, the beliefs we all carry that just absolutely sabotage us in the market. The idea that if you just work hard enough, you'll make a profit. Nope. That need to be right on every single trade. Ugh, deadly. The expectation that you can have certainty and control. Not a chance. These things we're taught are virtues in the real world. In trading, they're pure poison. And trust me, that little voice in your head that needs to be right, it'll drain your account faster than any bad indicator.
Okay, so this brings us to a really critical part of the journey. You have to accept the market for what it truly is. It's time to stop fighting it and just start seeing it.
And here's the first hard truth you've got to swallow. The market is always right. Now, that doesn't mean it makes sense. It's not always logical. It just means that whatever the price is right now, that's the final verdict from everyone involved. Your brilliant analysis, my gut feeling, totally 100% irrelevant.
And truth number 2 builds right on that. The market doesn't argue. You can scream at your screen all you want. It's just this big, impersonal force. It doesn't care about your perfectly drawn trend lines, your reasons, or why you're so sure the stock should be going up. It just doesn't care.
And finally, the last, most critical truth. Once that price moves, that's it. It's done. It's a fact etched in stone. Trying to argue with the price action is literally like trying to argue with gravity. It's pointless. You just can't fight reality and expect to win.
So all of this, it boils down to one really personal, really tough question you have to ask yourself. And you have to be honest. What's more important to you, being right or making money? Because I promise you, the market is going to force you to pick one.
Okay, so once you can actually accept the market for what it is, the whole focus shifts. It's no longer about looking at the charts, it's about looking in the mirror. It's time to understand the market as a reflection of your own mind. This, for me, is one of the most powerful ideas in all of trading psychology. The market itself isn't good or bad. It's not threatening. It's just a giant mirror. And all it does is reflect what's already inside of you. Your fear of losing money, it'll show you that. Your greedy hope for a home run, it'll reflect that too. Every danger, every opportunity you see, it's just a projection of your own inner world.
And what it's reflecting is what Douglas calls your mental environment. Just think of it like a pair of glasses you wear. It's the unique filter that you see the market through. And it's made up of everything, every win, every painful loss, everything you believe about money and risk. It's why two traders can look at the exact same chart and see completely different things. Our mental environments are unique.
And here's how that mental environment can become a trap. It's a vicious cycle. Step 1, you take a really painful loss. Ouch. Step 2, your brain, trying to protect you, creates this strong, fearful memory. It links that specific chart pattern to pain. So, what happens next? A week later, you see a perfect, A-plus setup that looks exactly the same. But you hesitate, you freeze up, you can't pull the trigger, and then you watch it run without you, which just makes the original pain even worse. See? It's a brutal loop of self-sabotage.
So, the big question is, how do you break out of that cycle? Well, that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, the solution. It all comes down to building real discipline. But here's the key. Becoming disciplined isn't about brute force or willpower. It's a journey, a natural growth process, and it happens in stages. The first stage is self-awareness. This is that light bulb moment when you finally realize you are creating your own experience of the market. Then, you move up to mental flexibility. This is where you learn to shut up and listen. You stop trying to force your will on the market and just let it tell you what it's doing. And the final stage is self-acceptance. This is where you can actually take a winning trade and accept the profits without some weird, unconscious need to give it all back.
And really, this is the end game. This is what we're all shooting for. Real, true discipline, it's not a struggle. It's not you gritting your teeth, forcing yourself to do something. It's what happens naturally, almost effortlessly, when your internal beliefs are finally in sync with the market's reality. When you accept uncertainty, when you accept risk, the inner conflict just vanishes.
And that leaves us with one last, really empowering idea to wrap this all up. This whole game, it's never been about trying to outsmart the market. It's always been about understanding yourself. Because the moment you truly get what's going on inside your own head, that's the moment the market loses all its power over you. And that's the day you finally, truly start trading.